I think we've added two outstanding young midfield forward players, so it gives us a really almost working to I think one of the better midfield groups, and we've probably lost a solid experienced defender, which we need to cover. And I think that's the outcome. I can't really talk about the young kids yet because form hasn't been exposed. But I think even though we're going to the draft with only one pick, we've already secured two academy players who are highly thought of and a highly thought of father-son in Josh Clayton. So I think we've done all right in the draft. So I think we've got the best of both worlds in what's happened. 12 months is a long time in footy and a long time in a football club, and what's happened up here, even though we didn't necessarily, we actually lost more games than we won from the previous year. I think the way in which we played and finished off the season showed that there's a good group here, and there seems to be a good vibe around the place, and that's a credit to everyone, but in particular the senior coach. And we found at trade time that a lot of people and a lot of were saying positive things about Brisbane, and a lot of the players we spoke to were more than happy to come to Brisbane to play. Key forwards are hard to secure. At the moment we have got key forwards, but they're very young, and we're hoping there's an opportunity there for Michael Close, I guess, and John O'Freeman in particular to come through. But we'll still, keep that as a priority for us going into next year. But having said that, history would suggest that key forwards are probably the most difficult spot to fill. Once we've secured Beams and Christensen, there wasn't much left for us to deal with. So we didn't really engage with other clubs pretty much past those deals being done. So we're reasonably quiet the last day of trading. Well, I guess if you're a recruiter, that you spend your year tracking all the young talent, and then you get to the draft and you haven't got a selection. But I think they knew the strategy of the footy club. They also realised, as I said before, that we'd got Liam Dawson and Harris Andrews through the academy, and we got Josh Clayton as a father-son. So in effect, there were three selections, and those boys have been tracked fairly heavily throughout the year. So they were instrumental in making sure that they were the three players that we wanted. But it's very important now that they pick, with the one pick, they pick a good player, and then we look at a couple of rookie spots as well. So that's their job between now and the draft time. I think academy picks, and particularly for us and Gold Coast, and then down in Sydney with GWS and Sydney, they're just a great way to get homegrown talent onto your list. And the more players we produce, I keep saying this, the more players we produce, the more players there are for the competition. So it's not just us who benefit, it's going to be everyone else. And father-sons are always a bonus, so if you can get a father-son, it's always a bonus. James Ace's name was mentioned, but never by us. So as far as Brisbane is concerned, we're working hard with James and his management to secure him long term, and that's our aim, because he's a really good young player and an important player for the future of the club. Salary cap's really, it's mentioned fairly heavily, I guess, by Greg, in the sense that we did have room in our salary cap, so we filled that up a little bit, but we'll have to see what happens next year. It's always good to have room in your salary cap if you can, because if a player becomes available of a high quality, you know that he's going to cost you. We've got an opportunity, with delisted free agents who are usually experienced players, so we're looking closely at that to see if there's a player there that will add to the list, and we can even add a mature player on the rookie list. So I guess we've got Zach O'Brien and Jordan Burke, who both played. Well, Jordan played one game last year, but Zach played a fair bit. So that they've shown they can come up and play AFL footy. So that's good to have that type of player on your rookie list. I think the feeling is there are some highly rated boys in our academy. So how high remains to be seen. It depends how they play this year. But I think you'll find that we'll be able to secure at least one player a year out of our academy, and that'd be great. That's a great outcome for Brisbane.